To connect.
Am I okay?
Yes, you go.
Oh. Hi, everybody.
Not yet. Wait.
No, I'm talking to the people on the platform. Oh, okay. I'm just talking to people.
Okay.
Hey, Cynthia.
Okay, now I need to do.
Lakeisha. Kamala.
Hi.
Hi. Thank y'all for coming.
Are you ready?
About as ready as I'm gonna get. You got the questions, I got the answers.
Okay, so 3, 2. Thank you for taking this moment to breathe and listen to what can change your life forever. My name is Ragnar Sinikas, and I'm the founder of Ladypreneur TV, How to Dominate the Decade talk show, World Women's Conference and Awards, the creator of Coral Desk, the coach of the Changemakers, and co-author for 3 soon-to-be launched books for entrepreneurship secrets. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for taking the time. Today, I have the incredible honor to have with us incredible Patricia Rogers. So, without any further ado, let me tell you a little about Patricia, and obviously she's going to give us much more than I can ever tell you. So let me add something here. So, retired Correctional Lieutenant Patricia Rogers completed 29 years in law enforcement for Miami-Dade County, where she trained thousands of employees to excel their careers. Retiring in 2016, that invested in herself by receiving the coaching and guidance that she needed to become a successful entrepreneur and public speaker. She discovered her gifts, talents, and hobbies and turned them into business that she loves. So Beth, you have an incredible resume. When I was reading all of it, International Association for Women, Global Trade Chamber of Commerce, Biscayne Chamber of Commerce, Women's Prosperity Network, all of that. So tell us more about you, your history, and why did you end up being an entrepreneur?
Wow. Okay, you know me. First of all, hi everyone. How y'all doing? I'm so happy to be here. I'm just so grateful that you invited me, Ragnar. This is just so exciting. I feel like I'm in Hollywood. But I want to say thank you to everyone that have taken time out of your day to come and be with us today. People need people. Everybody knows people need people. But you asked me a question as to how I chose to be an entrepreneur. Yes, I worked 29 years in corporate America. And those 29 years, I must say, were not my best, was not my happiest years. And I think I would be safe to say that I'm just giving you a little history first. I would be safe to even say that was probably, those 29 years, some of them, was probably the biggest crisis that I've had in my life.
Wow.
That's my story. So this, what we're going through, I'm okay. Because when I think about where I came from, now I go back to my job. I love my job. I love what I do. I love supervising inmates. The inmate population is just what we call an adult daycare, if you will. And but what the challenge for me was in the workplace was the administration. And when you're in a workplace, we call it work politics in the workplace. So I'm sure all of you know about politics in the workplace. Everybody that's listening, if you've had a job, I'm sure you can relate to politics in the workplace. And I was a victim of the politics in the workplace. So therefore, that's what made my job a little difficult for me. But I also have a desire to excel in whatever I do. And sometimes those politics try to stop you from excelling. You know, and I'm gonna say this, sometimes people see your value before you even see your value. And then the powers that be, wasn't everybody, it's never everybody, but sometimes people get in position and they abuse their position, not realizing the employees are the ones that make this thing work. But at any rate, so I did face some challenges in the organization. 3 promotions, we could take a promotion every 2 years, and every year I take the promotion, I would get arbitrarily passed over. Of course, me being who I am, Pat Rogers, I know the rules of the game because I read the policies and the procedures, and then I learn, ooh, I got rights. I got rights. If you don't know your rights, you don't have no rights. So I knew the rules of the game, and I played the game, and that was another thing that kept me being a target. You don't target those people who wrote the book. You know what I'm saying? But and I won every battle. My goal was to retire as a correctional lieutenant, and I took the first level of supervision, which was corporal. I took 4 years later, I took the sergeant's exam, and then 2 years later after that, I took the lieutenant's exam. And that was my goal. And of course, every time I was passed over, but of course, I did what a lot of people didn't do at that time. But when they saw I did what I did, I started getting a lot of customers, if you will. A lot of people started coming to me. And I realized why I had to go through what I had to go through. And of course, I won every battle. You know, I won because I went by the rules of the game. And I retired in 2016 as a correctional lieutenant. I followed my dream. I walked through the what we call the challenges. I kept the faith, but most of all, I believed in God and myself. And from there, being that I did my 29 years, I only had to do 25 in law enforcement, because in law enforcement, we only have to do 25 because it's considered high risk. So I didn't have to do 30. We go to 25 and we can officially retire. But the other additional years that we did was up anywhere from 1 to 4 additional years. Those were thousands and thousands of dollars that was pumped into my retirement. So now my question to you all is this. So why wouldn't I stand the test? So why wouldn't I go through the challenges? Why wouldn't I keep my eyes on the prize, on the vision that I had for my life? So that's just the way it is. When we have vision, challenges are going to come to test our faith, to test our foundation, and definitely to educate us. Because when we come through the challenge and we're now in a position to go to other levels. And when we go to other levels, we're going to be taking other people with us, or we're going to be meeting other people. So in order for us to be equipped, that's powerful, equipped for the journey, for what's coming after the challenge, after the crisis, for us to be equipped for what's coming after the crisis, we got to go through the crisis. Hello.
So what you're really emphasizing is it doesn't matter if you actually are still employee or you are entrepreneur. Number one is to believe in yourself and your abilities. Now,
absolutely.
Always have the biggest vision in the room and be equipped. No? Did I get it right?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. You know, so I did my time in corporate America, but with having gone through all of that, I already knew that I wasn't going back to work. And what helped me to decide that was, after 29 years, if you don't know who you are and what your skills and abilities are, then I don't know what to say. But I knew that I was a leader. I knew that. And I knew that I needed to learn what my gifts and my talents were, because I've done those 29 years. Now it was time for me to do something different. So my goal was not to go back to work. And I saw a lot of people in my 29 years who would retire and they would come back to work. And they would come back, they may leave as a lieutenant or as a sergeant, and then they come back, they have to come back on the first level, which was an officer. So they would come back, they wouldn't last, and they would leave. But the reason they came back, ask me why they came back.
So why did they come back?
I'm glad you asked that question. They came back because when they left, they weren't prepared. They weren't prepared. They wasn't prepared. And that, I watched it, and I knew that preparation was going to be the key to my success after retirement.
Wow, so true.
Jackie's raising her hand over there. That's right. You know, so that I watched. And then there were people in the workplace who were pressured so much with the politics and with the personal things in their own personal lives and so on and so forth, to the point that we've had officers or employees who actually committed suicide.
Wow, this is deep.
Yeah. And not to mention those who ended up violating the rights. Inmates have rights. Violating the rights of the inmates by excessive use of forces. That's just one of them. And they ended up on the other side of the bars. So, and of course, I saw many inmates, not many, but several inmates die when I'm gonna put it like this: how Ilana said, they died on my watch. You know, so I've seen it all. I've been there, but I'm that person that I always want to go to the next level. So I knew that I needed to position myself as an entrepreneur because my assignment there was up. I got a lot of accolades in the organization. Don't get me wrong, sweetie. I got a lot of accolades. And that's what the thing was, the audio was about. But again, I had challenges, you know, but that's all a part of the journey. And that's what, if we don't have crises in our life, then change will never take effect. And we'll never be the best that we can be.
So can you really say that the challenges have really made you who you are and where you are now?
Absolutely. I can say that 100%, that I have definitely had some challenges in my life, even as a young lady. I have had some challenges in my life that I'm gonna say this first. I didn't have to be here today. Let me put it that way. I didn't have to be here today because I made some bad choices. I hung around some bad people. So, it is what it is. But I know that God had me in the palm of his hand. And now I know today that everything that I've gone through, it did shape me. I had choices. You either stay where you are, and we have choices right now, even in this crisis. You either stay where you are, stay home, complain, keep watching all these videos. Oh my God, video after video, everybody sending videos about COVID. Well, my question to the listeners, the audience is this: if we're sitting up sending videos all day long, what are you doing to better yourself, to prepare so that when the crisis is over, you're ready?
I love that you asked that, because I think a lot of people are so consumed by the circumstances that they're facing today and the experiences that they're facing that they don't even dare to think, or that fear has paralyzed them to think what next or what's going to happen. So we talked about your challenges, but share with us also what has been your biggest success. Like, what are you really proud of, and what would be the success part that you would like to share with us?
Oh wow, my biggest success? Oh, that's a good one. Oh my God, I have several successes, but my biggest success, I'm gonna tell you that's a good question. Oh my goodness. I don't want one success to get jealous of the other success, because I can only mention one success. Okay, but my biggest success is sitting on my virtual background. That's my biggest success. I am already a best-selling author, international public speaker. I am a event coordinator. And these are the things that I positioned myself as when I retired. My first book was in a collaboration book with the Women's Prosperity Network, an organization I love so dearly, who have really helped shape me and teach me and all of those good things. And I was in a collaboration book because I wanted to be an author. So when you come into the entrepreneur arena, what do? We do what other entrepreneurs do. And this is why it's important to invest in a coach, invest in someone who have what you want so that we can get what they have, and we can become who we desire to be. So I was in a collaboration book because I wanted to be an author, and that gave me that title. But deep down in my heart, I always wanted to write my own book, even before then. They gave me the tools, so that was what happened. And eventually my book is it's coming. It's almost finished. Well, the book is finished. It was finished. It's finished. It was finished. And we was getting ready to go to print. And this is the point I want you all to catch. I want y'all to catch this. It was getting ready to go to print. I had already gotten a proof from Amazon. So I was waiting on them to mail it to me. I paid $15 for them to overnight it. I didn't get that book for 3 weeks. And my book, I call her my book angel. My book angel ended up calling them, telling them I didn't get the book. They supposed to send me a refund, so on and so forth. But my point is this, in the middle of those 3 weeks, guess what happened?
Everything unexpected happens. When we make plans, life happens.
That's right. COVID hit. COVID-19 showed up. So that means that had that book gone to print, had everything happened, I would have had to go back into my book because I had to change the name of my book. I've already changed the name of my book. Why? Because I have to go back in that book and I have to now bring it up to date with the crisis that we're experiencing, which is what? I had a live event planned for May the 22nd and the 23rd. 120 people was coming. I had about 14 speakers, 18 expert panelists, and I had about 20 some odd vendors. Jackie, she's on the set. She was a part of that. She was on that panelist. And I had to cancel that. I didn't have to, but I canceled that event. So, but my point is this, because of COVID. Now, guess what? That means I have to learn to transition online. So that means I have to bring this book up to date. So now that all of this happened and the book did not go to print, now I'm able to get the book when it comes to me because I ordered it again. They're going to send it to me. I read it. I look. I see what I'm already pulling out. I have to add chapters in that book now that tells the readers, how do I transition from live events to online events? What are some of the things that I need to look for? What are some of the things that I need to prepare for? What are some of the challenges? Well, who should be involved in this event? You know what I'm saying? How am I going to display this? Which platform am I going to use? How do I do what me and you are doing right here before the event started, and I'm still trying to do it? How do I transfer this live event that I'm hosting to all of these platforms and groups I'm in so they can sit and they can watch and they can take part because they couldn't actually be on the physical platform? So I got to put all this stuff in the book, and I'll tell God, thank you that book did not go to print. Because right about now, I don't think too many people gonna buy a book that just says networking events. Yeah. Because we can't network. So God gave me wisdom, and this is why I told you everything that I do is based on my belief in the God I call God, but my higher power, the God of my own understanding. And I say it like that because I want you all to know we don't have to be perfect to develop a relationship with God. And a lot of times people will neglect to honor him, to talk to him. He just wants you to talk to him. Right now, in my own opinion, God sometimes he just want our attention. And I know he got it now. I know he got mine even more so. But all he wants, God to me is just like you. You want me to call you. You want me to talk to you in the messenger. You want me to, you want to know that I care about you. I want to know you care about me. You've proven that you care about me. Out of all the people on social media, you included me in the group of people that you chose to do your speaking conference for the whole month. So this is where I am with my spiritual belief, and this is what I share with people. And he don't require a whole lot, but we be moving so fast. We can't even breathe. We running. You call somebody, oh, I gotta call you back, or they don't call you back, or when you're talking to them, they're going so fast, you can't get your message across. And now he quieted us down and he said, time out. Time out. Since you all don't know how to take time to stop and breathe, I'll help you. And that's exactly how I'm living these moments in my home. I'm still doing little things I need to do, but for me personally, but I'm still reaching out to the public, and I pick up the phone and I call people to see how they're doing. Something that I do, but I can do it in a I can do more now with this time, even with the texting. Even so, it's just ironic how things happen. And when we can look at the positive in any crisis and not focus on that negative, then don't focus on the negative stuff that the crisis is bringing us, then we'll be able to enjoy each day to the fullest.
Let's talk about little, you already touched the COVID and all of that. So, and when we have spoken with you previously, I was very proud the way that you saw the whole situation, and how you didn't just take the dowel and just leave it and say, you know what, I'm not going to do my events, I'm just going to relax, having a little margarita at home and just going to see what's going to happen. So let's talk about this a little. Like before those circumstances, every entrepreneur's dream was to, if I could only work from home. Didn't we wish everybody? It was like, if I could only be home, working from home wouldn't be incredible.
Yeah.
So what is your insight? Like, why are people so impatient now? Like, what's changed or shifted in their mind?
So you're asking me if people who want to work from home, okay, what I'm hearing you say is that because a lot of entrepreneurs, people want to work from home, and that's true. A lot of people, I coach individuals. I have coached some individuals who wanted to quit their day job. I personally don't encourage that. If you have a day job, because for me, I started marketing legal and identity theft services when I was working for corporate America, and that was my first introduction to entrepreneurship, because all the tools were already there and laid out for me. And legal, law enforcement, of course, that was a good fit for me, because I did use those attorneys in the workplace when I had issues come up, falsely accused, or investigations, or bogus write-ups, anything that could stop you from, achieving your goals. And of course, I won all the time. I think with God's grace, I succeeded. But I think people today, I see a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs because that's the way of the world. But my thing now is we're entrepreneurs, and we're being forced to work from home, and then I see people still complaining. So I'm confused on that. Jackie, I see Jackie over there laughing on the platform. She's cracking up. She must be guilty. And I'm trying to figure, based on what you're asking me, this is how I see it, that people are forced to stay at home and work at home. And I talk to a lot of people, even in the messenger, in the text, and I can hear the grief in their voices, in their context. And I'm trying to figure this thing out. Well, we wanted to work from home, now we home. The only thing I can say is the downside of that may be possibly that the grief comes from the fact that even though we're forced to stay home, we want to work at home and work from home, and we're forced to stay home. I can see a downside to that it does take away our freedom. And by our freedom being taken away, it's like being in jail. So that makes this opportunity to work from home sometimes not as pleasant as we had envisioned. Does that make sense? Did I kind of?
It does, and I think also, like, all of us as human beings, we always want something that we can't have, so sort of, no? And when we have it, then we're like still seeing the faults of it, like not enjoying it, but still thinking like, oh, well, now I have it, but it's not the way, and et cetera. Like it's always, and I see Jacqueline Jimenez is like, it's a mindset shift.
You're right.
100% agree. It is. So what? But I think what's frustrating is that when we don't have the control over the situation, that's the part. Like we want to make the decision that we can do it or whether not to do it. But I think now currently, if you're forced to do it, then it's something like it's not that sweet anymore.
You're right. Yeah. That makes sense also. That makes a lot of sense too. And yeah, you're right. Because when we are forced to do something, it does take the fun out of it. You know. But what I encourage everyone to do is to look at, don't take the fun out of it. Don't allow what we're going through to take the fun out of it for you. Be creative, because being in a situation with crises, it has so many opportunities. You know, it just opens so many doors of creativity. You know, it shows us our weaknesses. And then, of course, when we see our weaknesses, we're able to work on our weaknesses, you know, and it shows us our strength, you know, because we learn that we are creative and we can change, you know, and our mindset, it allows us to change our mindset. And we don't see the outcome, but I do believe that in the outcome, it's going to be bigger and greater than where we are at.
For sure. And I totally agree again here that the only thing which we really have control over is our thoughts. That's very true. So
right.
If we want to sort of make like 3 recommendations out of everything that we have discussed today, and after that I'm going to give everybody which is on the call and everybody also who are watching us from the Facebook Live, if you have any questions you can write them down, or we also open the microphone after she answers what would be your 3 recommendations, as our show is called How to Dominate the Decade Under Current Circumstances. What would be your 3 recommendations how to do it, how to dominate your decade?
Wow. Regna, I'm glad you kind of asked me that, because I didn't really tap on it a lot. 3 recommendations. Ooh, 3 recommendations. I didn't really tap on it a lot. I kind of gave you a little bit of my history and what got me started and how I became an entrepreneur marketing the legal and identity theft services. But I'm going to tell you something. It goes with, you know, I strongly would like to, everybody that's listening under the sound of my voice, now is the time for you to put your house in order. And I say that because I'm happy today. I don't have any fears. I don't have any worries. And I'm going to say this. If COVID comes and knock on my door right now, God forbid, I'm okay with that. And I'm going to tell you what makes me comfortable. My will is in place for my 2 children. I love you, James and Monica. My will is in place. My living will is in place. My trust has been set up. And guess what? I have a durable power of attorney for my children. One of them, whichever one, James, I think he's in charge, whichever one. My point is this. All they have to do, and this is what I've done since I've been here. I've had all the documents already and all that stuff. But you know what I did? The first thing I did before I started going on social media, because I still haven't lit up social media yet, with what God is giving me to do. I said to myself, you need to get your house in order. That means those documents, you got them, but can the kids find them right now if COVID come over? So I took time to organize everything that I had, put them in manila folders, put them in the file cabinet, make sure they're labeled, And of course, because when something happens, I'm gonna tell y'all like this, I don't want them to miss no money and leave no money on the table. And that's what we do sometimes, even though we're going through a crisis. A lot of us, we got money all over the place. Little money here, little money there, little bank account here. You got to bring all this stuff together. You got to know what all this stuff is. You got to know how much it is, where you got what it is, And so I took time to really, really, really organize. And I strongly encourage that. And for that, the services that I get from Legal Shield for $24.95 a month, which comes to $299.40 a year. I can pick up my phone, call an attorney, and I can get any answer to any question that I need. Our attorneys are open right now. Private attorney offices are closed. I have access to an attorney 24/7. People who are renting are gonna have problems with the landlord-tenant disputes. People who have in car insurances. I was reading something about car insurances, dropping people. I don't even know. I gotta check on that one. I don't know if it's true or not. So all I'm saying is we are in a crisis. And who comes first? We first put the mask on our families. So if you have not written that love letter to your family, which is by way of a will, then you had best reassess yourself. Because all these people running online have never been online before, trying to figure, how am I gonna get money online? How am I gonna how am I gonna make this work out? Okay, that's fine. But don't forget your family. Because none of us know the day nor the hour. And all the benefits, emergency 24/7 services, family matters, they look over contracts for you. Contracts is essential right now for everybody. We have some, they're talking about filling out these papers for the loans and different things that the government is trying to give out. Contract review, all I have to do is send it in, putting those files and stuff in the courts. All you got to do is write it up. They put it on their letterhead, rewrite it, fix it up, and then they send it to the court for you. All that. IRS audits, just to know. So I'm sitting here and I'm just grateful because it's nothing like being prepared for the unexpected. And that's how COVID got us. It hit us upside the head. I'm gonna say this. So that's just my last 3 words. It's about to people really is those 3 instruments, make sure you have them in order. And again, if they want to reach out to me via in the messenger, I will send everybody that's on it under the sound of my voice. I will do it under the sound of my voice. You text me, send me something in the messenger, and I will be glad to send you a free complimentary, just a complimentary will template. And when you see how easy it is, I'm talking to those who haven't gotten it, took time to do it. We all know we need to do it, but I'm talking to those who need it because, and inbox me, DM me, and certainly, and I would be glad to send you a free copy of one. Because, ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to get your house in order.
Can you share with us also if someone wants to contact you directly, so it's very clear that they can do it, and what would be the best channels, how people can find you?
They can find me at patrogers360.com. And that will take them, when they click on that, Jackie, if you could do that for me, make sure I'm up and running. Jackie is one of my business partners. And you click patrogers360.com. That's the easiest one. And that will take you to all of my social media platforms. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, my website, and I think it should be a copy of my book. Jackie, is that there? A copy, you can get a complimentary copy of chapter 1 when you opt in. And that's also about something I was going to give to everybody today. But that's the best way to get me, patrogers360.com. And that will take you to all of my social media platforms. Opt in and get a free copy of chapter 1 of my book that's coming out. And like I said, send me whatever. You can reach me however. My phone number, I'm an open book. My phone number is also in that app. If you click at the top app that says contact, you can click that, call me. Call me. text me, email me. Everything's right there on that app. And I would love to hear from you. I believe that people need people.
So maybe Jacqueline can or someone can write down. There's Cynthia who wants you to contact her. So and there's an email and phone number there. So maybe Jacqueline, you can write them down for Patricia, because once we leave from here, those comments are not going to be available anymore. Also, everybody which are now looking at the Facebook Live, you can share your comments, your contacts, and I hope you heard how to contact Patricia. So let's open the questions. Does anyone have a question for Patricia? Patricia, what is the hardest lesson you learned?
Whoa. What is the hardest lesson I've learned? The hardest lesson I've learned. That's a good one. But I'm going to throw something out there because I've learned so many. But the hardest lesson I've learned, oh my. I just told y'all people need people. I just told y'all people need people. That's my tagline, unity and service where people need people. The hardest lesson I've learned is that everybody is not for you. Everybody that smiles at you, that follows you, does not have your best interest at heart. And because I'm a people person, that hurts. It hurts. And that's why I have to shift my mindset so that I don't allow it to hurt me so much to the point where I stop serving others. I hope that answered your question.
That's actually a question from our from the chat. So, is there any other questions? I see. Thank you, everybody, which are on Facebook as well. Sonia, Maika, Anita, Rita. Let me see more. Inga, from all over the world, from Estonia, from Mexico, from UK, so we are in every part of the world, I guess. Even we had someone from Peru. Victor was us from Peru. And if you share here, South Florida. So
awesome, thank you.
It really shows us that even though that we are in different communities, our sort of everybody is mentioning that our enemy is the same. I would say that our challenge, I wouldn't call enemy, our challenge, and also to understand what do we really need to learn from it as human beings, as visitors of this planet, not owners of this planet.
You're right.
You're giving a huge lesson here. So, and that's the thing. It's always with the bad things. Once we are able to step back, breathe, and think, what is the next best thing to do? Then we also understand why this bad thing, the strategy, why it's in some senses happening, and what good thing or good things is it bringing to us. So I think people like you, a lot of people which I see here in the chat and in Zoom also here, are the people that are the new generation leaders, which sees a lot of opportunities and positive in this challenge which we are facing all together as one community. And let's see if there's any other questions.
I just want to say, I don't know if there's any more questions, but I'm going to jump in right quick while you read the questions. And I want to leave on a positive note about crisis. You said something about why they happen. We've seen fires, California, we've seen tsunamis, Japan, we've seen tornadoes, We've seen hurricanes, roofs blown off. I was a part of that some years ago. You know, we've seen a lot of crises. But what I want all of us to understand is that crises, it comes in seasons. Seasons change. What we have to do is just, I'm gonna say it like this, outlive the crises. Stay focused, stay in faith, and keep doing what you're doing, because you can't lose sight of your vision. You gotta just shift a little bit, pivot, as one of my coaches said. You gotta pivot, but you gotta stay focused on that vision. So if you can't take that time you're gonna relax. No, because that's one of the benefits of the crisis, is to give us time to reposition ourselves, because we became too comfortable. There are benefits of crisis, and I'm just gonna share a few, and I'm gonna close on this note. Some of the benefits of crisis, number one for me, they point me closer to God. That's first and foremost. It allows me to open up my mind and tap into that creative part of my mind. Because now I have to stop thinking, what do I do next? I have to go through the same thing I did when I first started as an entrepreneur, or as whatever it is we do. It also creates change. Nothing stays the same. We all know change is inevitable. It also gives us hope. Hope for what? Hope for a better future. And I think about Jeremiah, I think it's 29:11, when God said, I know the plans that I have for you. His goal is not to harm us. He said, but I want to give you hope and a future. We have to hold on to that. And we have to know that this stuff is happening. It's not the end of everything. It's the beginning of something so awesome that we cannot see. And another benefit of crisis is it develops our faith in God. The God of your understanding, but mine is God, whatever your higher power is, it develops faith. And we all need to learn, we have to learn to exercise faith so we can walk by faith, because faith is not what we see. Faith is what we believe. You're not going to see the outcome, but you can certainly believe, and you can envision in your mind that whatever it is, it's going to be greater than the first. And having said that, lastly, crises allows us, for me, these are things that I've written down for me at some point. It allows me to appreciate what I had in my hand. That's powerful. That's powerful. And then from that, it allows me to just say, thank you to God for all those wonderful things that you did and gave to me. All those things in crisis you took me out of some of those crises I developed myself in my younger life. I say thank you for all of that, having the opportunity to experience all these wonderful things. Retirement, all those good things that's coming to me. It allows me to appreciate all that I had. So now it's time for me to close the chapter, and I'm getting ready. We're all getting ready to walk in a new chapter. So while we're doing it together. And I love this platform. And I want to say, having said all of that, people need people. And if it took COVID-19 to bring us together with all these different platforms, we still busy. All these different platforms. Let's just say thank you. And I thank you, Ragnar, for giving me this opportunity, because you have done to me what I'm going to be doing to others. Giving them a chance to tell their story, giving them a chance to come on live in front of the masses. Because if we don't share it, nobody knows you exist. If you don't tell the world what you do to serve them, then nobody knows. So this is important that our voices be heard and our faces are seen in the masses. I am Pat Rogers. I am the CEO of Unity in Service, where people need people.
So I guess that we could say that your favorite quote would be "People need people." That is something that could be related back to you, and that's something which is very, very common to you. So Julia, and this is the last question that we will take. Julia is asking, how do you face fear and worry?
She's trying to wipe that smile on my face. Ooh, I love that question. How do I face fear and worry? I don't. I give it to God. It's not mine in the first place. But I do, on the real side, I'm human just like everybody else. And the way I face fear and worry is I look at it. I do cry sometimes, depending on what the situation is. I cried out because there's more room out than in. Jesus wept, so I do. I am human. I want y'all to know I'm human. I cried out. I cried through this crisis, you know, especially when I'm trying to figure something out and I can't figure it out, and I'm, you know, and I don't have the answer at the moment, and it's just taking so much of my time. And sometimes I just may break down and just shed a few tears, and then guess what? I dry the tears. I get up, and I keep doing what I'm doing to get to the next step. And the answer always comes. It always comes. So what I do in the midst of fear and worry is I keep moving. I keep moving. I keep moving. And I pray and I believe. I practice faith. And eventually, like I said, everything always coming to fruition. When you, like they say, what you think about comes about. I already know God got it, but it doesn't stop me from feeling the you know, whatever the backlash of it. But I do know one thing, I'm not worried about the outcome. I keep moving. In the midst of fear, I keep moving. Because when we keep moving, in the midst of those fear and worry, now mind you, move in the right direction. Don't move with people that's gonna keep you on the phone gossiping, people that's gonna keep all this negative stuff in front of you. You gotta reposition yourself and get away from the negative, and you gotta focus on the positive. And if all of us look in our lives, anything, even just this past week, and you really, like they say, the gratitude list is always going to be longer than that list of the negative things that we experience in life, if we're honest with ourselves. So I hope that answered your question. I hope that answered your question. Somebody said, faith moves mountains. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And that's where I am today.
So thank you everybody who joined us. There's a lot of comments also in Facebook. So I'm pretty sure that Patricia will go them through after she finishes and leaves comments there as well. Don't worry. Obviously, we recommend you to join us in Zoom as well. There's a lot of incredible comments here, which would take another 50 minutes, I think, if I read all of them. But I think the environment that it's in here is absolutely incredible, and I thank you everybody who took the time to join us and really engage, participate, comment, and really enjoyed being here. So to wrap it up, I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Patricia, for coming. I want to thank you, every single one of you, which you took the time, as I just said. But why is it so important? We as community members can make changes and can make difference in our communities. And today, I have the honor to say that our community is the world, because if you see how many people from worldwide we have here, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I really thank for this moment that we are able to do so.
That's right.
We just put in,
it's amazing.
we just put in, and we are connected with people from UK, from people from Peru, from Estonia, from people all over the world.
And I'm from Miami. Florida.
Exactly, and there's a lot of people more from Miami, so I'm really, really thankful. Why do we have those talks? Those talks are to really support our communities, to define the problems that we have in different communities, and also to support, try to find at least, maybe some of the questions will be answered, some of them maybe we need to dig deeper, but I have heard a lot of great feedback already from those calls which we have had. Sometimes people do not transmit or say it out loud that, thank you, I learned something which was very useful and I could apply it to my life, and at least one of my challenges or problems is now solved by that. Or sometimes when you just share the information that you heard today here with your community, you never know when you're able to change someone else's life because of that. Because someone happened to be looking at this and found it exactly what he needed or she needed at that right time. So never underestimate the power that you have. So take it, share it. And again, look around. Share at least with 5 of your closest friends, and they say we become our conversations. So look around, which are the 5 nearest ones?
You're right, you're right.
And you really need to understand today, so you are where you are because of those closest to you, because it really reflects on your life. And to finish up, so we have those calls every day from Monday till Friday, 11 a.m. for the mountain time. And for you, it was in Miami, it was 12?
1.
1, okay.
1 p.m.
UK, we are at 6, so this is incredible.
Yeah, it is. You're doing a good job keeping up with it. I gotta applaud you on that one, girl. That is good. You've done a good job at keeping up with all those different times.
Yeah, it has been quite. Yes, we are in Mexico. We are in Los Cabos, so and even not in Mexico City's time, we are 1 hour behind. So we're in Los Cabos Mountain time. So it has been absolutely incredible talk with you. I really appreciate you and everybody that are joining us or joined us today. So I hope that you will join us tomorrow at the same time. And today, if any of you speaks also Spanish, you are welcome to join us in 1 hour and 8 minutes. Then we have a great surprise from Lima, Peru. She has as well incredible resume, and I think that she's someone that everybody should know. I'm not going to give you the name because I want you to be curious and go whether our website or whether join us in the call, so you will find out. But thank you, Spanish.
Okay.
It's in.
Can I give just a quick shout out? I see some people here that I talked to, I invited, and I want to just say, and I didn't see them in the beginning. Jackie's here, Kamala, Cynthia, Yvonne, Dr. Caroline, Leah Carr, Julia Span. I don't know who else is here, but those are names that just popped up in my, and I just wanted to acknowledge you. Thank you all so much for showing up. Yvonne, thank you all so much for showing up. I just really appreciate that. People need people.
And we end our call with those incredible words. Yes, people need people. So thank you for joining and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.